All right, and welcome to the weekly update from Northeast Christian Apologetics. The purpose of this is to let you know what's going on this week with Northeast Christian Apologetics, as well as inform you of some other news that's going on. I'm your host, Simon Williams, and let's get started. So today is Monday, March 11th, and tonight at 6 p.m. we'll be doing our online book study, Tactics, Chapter 15, which is called Rhodes Scholar. In this chapter, we're going to be talking about how to determine whether or not a person you are talking with is informing you or educating you, and yes, there is a difference. Apologetics 101 program at the church in New London will not be meeting this week. We will be meeting up again next Wednesday, the 20th at 6:30 p.m. This is the final installment of the Apologetics 101 program, where we will be talking about bringing what we have learned throughout the series to the streets. So be prepared for that. That's going to be the 20th at 6 p.m. At Castle Church in Norwich, we will be meeting at the church this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. to discuss objections to the Christian worldview. We'll be addressing claims that say that Christianity is colonialist, homophobic, racist, and sexist. So this class will be good for anyone struggling in these areas. Reminder that this is only the 8th session of the first part of our Apologetics 101 program. You haven't missed out on too much if this is your first session, so please come on out. We'd love to have you. So on top of that, Northeast Christian Apologetics is still looking to fill out the week with more apologetics classes. If you're part of a church that would benefit from exploring Christian philosophy and reasons for why Christianity ought to be preferred, and you want to strengthen your faith and the faith of people at your church, then don't hesitate to contact me at www.nechristianapologetics.com, and we can see what we can do. In other local apologetics news, on May 18th, the ministry Apologetics for the Church is coming to New London, Connecticut to teach on apologetics. More information will come out as we approach the date, but it's being hosted by Ray Jones at Lighthouse Community Baptist Church in Pawcatuck and Joe Paskowich in Calvary Chapel, Eastern Connecticut. The speaker will be Mark Farnham. That's about it for local Connecticut apologetics news. For the next segment, I'd like to thank Sound Faith Consulting for compiling the following information in their blog. Please check them out if you are looking for speakers, Christian consulting, talent management, literary representation, and public relations. Houston Christian University is hosting an Apologetics Day 2024, focusing on defending Easter. This is scheduled for March 23rd at Houston Chinese Church. Speakers will include Dr. William Lane Craig, Mike Lacona, and Jason Tarn. Dr. Craig's talk will be Did the Resurrection Happen? And Mike Lacona will be addressing 3 objections to the resurrection. There's going to be a lot more happening that day, and I encourage you to see the website for more details. David Wolcott joins Alicia Childers on her YouTube channel to discuss what progressive Christianity has in common with other religions. A very interesting conversation. So if you're looking for new books for your library, 2 of William Lane Craig's books on the resurrection are now available in paperback form. The Historical Argument for the Resurrection of Jesus During the Deistic Controversy, and Assessing the New Testament Evidence for the Historicity of the Resurrection of Jesus. You better believe those are on my Amazon wish list, and I hope they are on yours as well. John Noyes joins a Celebrate conversation to discuss how your worldview impacts your belief about sexuality. You can also watch Desert Apologetics 2024 Anchored Apologetics Conference on Day 2 on YouTube, but you need a direct link in order to see it. I'll provide that in the description of this video. In debate news, John White and Leighton Flowers debate on whether John 6:44 teaches unconditional election. These guys don't need much introduction if you are a Calvinist, and we might do a longer discussion on these kinds of videos in the future. Also on YouTube, Liz Jackson discusses how atheists do and don't have faith. Liz is probably best known for her defense of Pascal's wager, which is one of my favorite arguments. People are sleeping on this argument. The wager is unavoidable. Are you feeling lonely? On probe.org, Kirby Anderson, the president of Probe Ministries International, talks about how America was facing a crisis of loneliness and how the and how the coronavirus pandemic only made it worse. A lot of Christians do church at home online and neglect fellowship with other believers. Anderson explains different ways that loneliness can manifest and exhorts local churches to do more to provide opportunities for outreach and fellowship in their communities. We individual Christians must reach out to lonely people and become their friends. We must help a lost, lonely world realize that their best friend of all is Jesus Christ. Finally, for this news segment, UFC legend Royce Gracie converts to Islam. Remember that an important feature of Christian apologetics is helping to make Christianity culturally relevant and an intellectually viable option for people. We as Christians should be able to explain why we are Christians and why we are not Muslims. Remember that your worldview is important, has eternal consequences, and should be well reasoned. Thank you very much for being with me in this segment of Apologetics News brought to you by Northeast Christian Apologetics and with the help of Sound Faith Consulting and others. May you have a great day and God bless.